Alright, what the fuck is up, everyone? Prison Meddler here. Continuing off with the Megadeth ranking, so let's finish this off. And before we begin, make sure you watch part 1 first. If you haven't watched part 1, I suggest you watch that first. Links in the description. Anyways, let's begin. Alright, next up we got is The World Needs a Hero, released May 15, 2001, off of Sanctuary Records. Now, according to many people, this was meant to be a Return to Roots album. Not quite really. It's more traditional heavy metal in this album, even though there's a bit of thrash here and there, like a little bit, not a lot. I'll say this, it's a bit better than Risk, mainly because of the Return to Roots, but this is the album that many Megadeth fans don't really talk about, and I kind of understand why. There's a lot of forgotten songs in there, except for the track Dread and the Fugitive Mind, and maybe Motorpsycho, but there's a few things we should talk about here. And yes, this album is quite forgettable. I'll say it's definitely a bit weak, one of the weaker albums, but it's better than Risk. At least it's better than Risk, though. I mean, it does have some few interesting moments, like the symphonic ballad track, Promises, which I thought this was a nice, quiet song. And there's a few catchy songs here, like Motorpsycho, Dread and in the Fugitive Mind is pretty catchy. And there's some few underrated tracks, too. Mainly the track Receipt for Hate, Warhorse, that's a solid track. Bernie Bridges is a good one, and yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, Disconnect's a good one, too, but there are some few downfalls. I am kind of disappointed with the track Return to Hangar, which is basically a sequel to Hangar 18, which is from Rust in Peace. But overall, it's just not a really good follow-up, and it's just poorly executed. But and also I still don't like this on Win, which is a 9-minute track, and it's the longest song. It's basically compilations of Metallica songs that he wrote, which is all re-recorded with different lyrics. But as for the album in general, yeah, it has some interesting moments here and there, but yeah, it's quite forgettable. So I'm gonna go for 2.5 out of 5. I don't think it's a bad album or anything. It's just there's way better albums than this, It's just very and plus it's very underproduced, to be honest with you. I mean, again, a few worked, but overall, it's an okay album. It's just, I probably won't go back to it. Alright, next up we got is The System Has Failed, released September 14, 2004, off of Sanctuary Records. Now, I forgot to talk about this on World Needs a Hero. Initially, World Needs a Hero was originally going to be Megadeth's final album, mainly because of, I think Dave had injured his hand, which caused him to disband, and he wasn't sure if it will recover, which caused him to be therapy, and he was able to play guitar again. So he decided to go back to music, and no Dave Ellefson on there. Originally, this was supposed to be Dave's solo album, but he wants to name it as Megadeth. I think it's because of marketing business or something like that. So he decided to reform Megadeth as his own with other musicians, session musicians on there. Nice to bring back Chris Poland on here. He also came back as a one-off thing. And other lineups such as Jimmy Lee Sloas, which I forgot. I can't pronounce it, which I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. But overall, as with this album, I say this album is kind of underrated. It has some cool stuff on there. Yeah, it does. I mean, there may be a few songs that sounded a bit different from Megadeth. Like tracks like Die Dead Enough and Of Mice and Men. Truth Be Told sounded a bit different. It kind of sounds like, a choir you hear throughout. But it has some thrashier moments, true. Blackmail the Universe is a pretty thrashy song. Kick the Chair is a great one. I do like The Scorpion, that's a good one. And then, yeah, there may be a few fillers here and there. But I'd say this might be Megadeth's most underrated record for the most part. So, anyways, I mean, and the lyrical content is pretty much brought brought back to, about the government being corrupt and stuff like that. That's their last album, World Needs a Hero. It's basically about a hero who is trying to stop the corrupt world of rock stars and stuff like that. As for this one, it's basically back to, about the government being corrupt, stuff like that. But then again, there are some few tracks I'm just not quite a fan of. Like, Truth Be Told, I didn't like that song very much. Same with Something That I'm Not a fan of that one either. It's just meh. But I thought it's a solid record, so I'm feeling a 3 to 5. Maybe leaning towards a 3.5 to 5, I guess. Mainly because there's a lot of good songs on there. But, yeah, it's a fine record. I mean, I'm not complaining much about it. I mean, it's a good start back to reformed band, I guess. Alright, next up we got is United Abominations, released May 15, 2007, off of Roadrunner Records. Now, yes, this album has another new lineup once again, and this is when they pretty much, I would consider they brought back the thrash elements to it. Just like the previous album, the lyrical deals with politics and the state of the world we're in, and stuff like that. And it has some really underrated songs too. Gears of War, which was originally a soundtrack for the game Gears of War. I think this was released a couple of months before the album comes out. Sleepwalker, I absolutely love. I thought this was one of Megadeth's most underrated tracks, and not a lot of people talk about this song. Washington is next, another great one. I would say all the songs are good. There's barely any filler as far as I know of. I do like the re-recorded the remake song of A Tuttle Monday, which features Christina Scabbia from Lacuna Coil. And yeah, I thought there's a lot of great songwriting. United Abominations is a great one. I mean, America Festan, it kind of reminds me of Feel of Rust in Peace a bit. Yeah, I thought this is a really great album. I actually consider this as a Return to Roots album. I really don't know what else to say here. It sounded like we wanted to hear from Megadeth, so I'm feeling a 4 to 5. I thought this is a really great record. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Alrighty, next up we got is Endgame, released September 15, 2009, off of Roadrunner Records once again. It continues off with United Abominations, with more divisive lyrics as well. Tracks like This Day We Fight drew inspiration of Aragon's plea to his fighters, which is from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. 44 Minutes is about the North Hollywood shootout of 1997. 1320 was written about the Nitro Few funny cars, which is kind of random. Mustaine said Bite the Hand was written about the greed of a fiduciary leaders of the financial world and how they just don't care about the responsibility they have to the public. Title track, which is Endgame, is about a bill that President George W. Bush signed, a law that gave him the power to put American citizens in detention center in the United States. Still a lot of topic variety on here. As for the riffs goes, I mean, I like how the album opens up with the instrumental, kind of similar to Set the World Afire, and then leading to This Day We Fight. I'd say it's a lot more underrated. It has a little bit more progression as well. I think it has a different lineup. Without Glenn Grover out of here, they brought in Chris Broderick. Yeah, he's now in Flames. For Jack Panzer, which is a power metal band, he now joined Megadeth. And yeah, I thought this was a really great album for the most part. Same with United Abominations. I am feeling a 4 to 5 as well. I don't know what else to say here. It's Megadeth being Megadeth. That's all I have to say here. Alright, next up we got is 13, released October 27, 2011, off of Roadrunner Records once again. Now, this is when the band went downhill again with this record. Mainly because, well, the good thing is, the album welcomed back David Ellefson. He came back to the band, which is nice at that time. I mean, the only thing about this album is I don't like how it's reworked, with a lot of songs that are reworked from the songs they have not released yet or it's been demoed. Tracks like Sudden Death, New World Order, Black Swan, and Millennium of the Blind, which is just, Sudden Death was originally a song for I think it was for a Guitar Hero game. New World Order was originally written during the Clash of the Titans tour, but which is kind of lazy. I mean, Black Salt won, which was a bonus track from United Abomination, but they put it on 13 whatsoever, which is kind of fucking lazy, to be honest with you. But then again, there are some songs out here that are pretty enjoyable. Like, I do like the song Public Enemy #1. I thought that was a kick-ass song. So is Guns, Drugs, and Money. New World Order is a decent one. And then their Sudden Death's a great one too. And the rest is just, kind of forgettable. Not a fan of New World Order. Didn't care for Black Swan either. Millennium of the Blind was okay. Didn't care for the closing track 13. But yeah, I would say this is their most polarizing record. Because this album is quite unoriginal, even though it has some fun on it. So, I'm feeling a 2.5 out of 5 on this record. It's okay, it's just... yeah, I'm really not looking forward to review the next one, and I'm going to go ahead and get that one over with. Alright, next up we got is Super Coloner. Wait. Released June 4, 2013 off of Tradecraft and Universal Records. No, wait, I'm sorry. Wrong name. Super Collider, not Super Coloner. Well, which is more like it, because that's what it sounds like in this album, that it sounds like fucking shit. But, okay. I don't want to break here. But, yeah. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about this record. Apparently, this album wants to go back to its rock roots like they did in the 90s, and yeah, I don't know what to say about this piece of shit record. All you hear of this album is fucking cringe dad rock throughout this album, which is dad butt rock, boomer butt rock, I should call it. A lot of cringy songs. I mean, okay, I'll admit, Kingmaker was an okay song, but anything after that, Super Collider, Burn, oh my god, don't get me started, Burn. Burn, baby, burn. Okay, calm down. It's just a cringy-ass song. Hate the chorus. Don't get me started about that collaboration track with David Draymond from Disturbed. That is such a cringy track. That is one of the worst Megadeth songs I have ever fucking heard. Oh my god, I just don't want to talk about this anymore. Yeah, it's just full of cringe. Lyrics are cringe. And back then, I thought Risk was bad. Risk is a masterpiece compared to Super Collider. That's how fucking awful this is. It's just, it's just cringe after cringe after cringe after cringe after cringe, and it's just so awful. Yeah, I fucking hate this record with a burning passion. It's right up there with Saint Anger and Molybdenum Sanus, Catharsis, Path of Vitality, those fucking records. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to go for 0.5 out of 5. This is such an atrocious record. I just don't know what else. It's such an abysmal record to listen to. I'd say it's the worst fucking metal album I have heard of 2013. I can't find an album worse than that as far as I know of. It is that fucking bad of a record. I absolutely hate it. I'd rather listen to Risk than this piece of shit record. It's Megadeth Saint Anger by a long shot. It's kind of comparable which one's worse. Along with albums like Molybdenum Sanus, Catharsis, you know what I mean. It's kind of comparable to these albums. But yeah, fuck this record. I hope I will never listen to that piece of shit record ever again. Alrighty, next up we got is Dystopia. Released January 22nd, 2016 off of Tradecraft / Universal Records. Now, yes, finally a much, much, much better album. Because this is a really great one. Easily their strongest since Endgame. I think it has a different lineup too, as far as I know of. I think Chris Broderick left the band, and I think he joined In Flames after that. I think this is their only album with Chris Adler, who was previously from Lamb of God. Their final album with Touchy, David Ellefson. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid lineup. And it's got some really cool stuff on there. I mean, I think, yeah, this is their first album with Kiko Loureiro, who is from, I think he was from the power metal band Angra. I mean, I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. It's got some really great stuff on there. I love how it opens up. The thread is real with it. I just love this outro with the thrashier riffs with the kick-ass solos. Dystopia is a great one. Fatal Illusion. I mean, no, I'm sorry. I meant the Fatal Illusion. I love the outro in it.
Sorry about that, guys. Shitty fucking audio error. What I was saying is, certain songs in the album, like Fatal Illusion, has this really crunchy guitar riffs with the solos. Let me think what else. What else I was about to say. A lot of great songs. Dystopia has a really nice, catchy chorus. Fatal Illusion, like I said, amazing outro. Death Within, Bullet of the Brain. I really like the piano from Poisonous Shadows, and same with the instrumental track Conquer or Die. That's all I can remember from there. I have the notes in front of me, but I don't remember else. Anyways, back to the video.
Record. I love the dark tone they put out in this record. It definitely fits with the album cover as well. So I don't know what I gave it last time on my ranking of Megadeth. I think I give it a 4 to 5. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that rating. I thought this is a really great record. If y'all haven't listened to it, check it out. I would say it's easily one of my favorite thrash albums of 2016. That might be my favorite thrash album of 2016. I like it more than Hard Ride or To Self-Destruct. Yeah, I thought this was a great fucking record. Alright, last up we got is The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead. Released September 2nd, 2022 off of Tradecraft / Universal Records. Now, this album pretty much continues off with Dystopia, which is a really long gap.
Goddamn audio. Okay, here, let me tell you what I remember. Yeah, this is where they got the longest gap between records. Dave Mustaine had throat cancer back in 2019. It went back to a killer record. I think that's pretty much all I say. I could have had more, but you really didn't miss much. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know what the fuck is up with the audio, but anyways, let's get back to the video.
A lot to talk about. I would say this is easily what you want to hear from Megadeth. It has a lot more heavier tone than Dystopia does. I love how it starts off with The Sick, The Dying, The Dead. I love this dark sounding guitar riff. Night Stalkers, I would say, which features Ice-T, by the way. I love this dark, haunting riff throughout. I mean, it's definitely up there with War and stuff like that. Dogs of Chonabah, I'm not too familiar with that, with that word, so I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. I know it's embarrassing. That's a fucking kick-ass track. Yeah, and the closing track will be back. I like the song Mission to Mars. I really like this melodic tone to it. Yeah, I mean, Killing Time, what I read is focus on ex-girlfriend of Mustaine's. From what I'm reading, Night Stalkers is about the 116 battle line with the U.S. Army, and it's all the Black Ops helicopter that go in at night. I mean, the sound fits the tone of it. According to Stain, Dogs of Chernobyl is not about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It's about a love song, which is kind of weird. And, you know, it's mainly how he felt when he had throat cancer. That's how he feels about the song. So yeah, I thought this was an outstanding record. It's a really great way for a second to last record. I think I originally rated this a 3.5 to 5. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to move up to a 4 to 5. I thought this is a really great record. Okay, guys, so I was listening to the album again during my editing process, and upon my consideration, I'm going to stick with that 3.5 to 5. There was some filler, mainly around the middle of the album. I mean, it's not a lot, just a little. But it's a very enthusiastic 3.5 to 5. I still think the album is really good. It's really strong. It's still a kick-ass record, don't get me wrong, but it's just a bit of filler around the middle of the album, but it's not a lot. I absolutely love what I hear, and I'm gonna see. I'm pretty interested in what they got on their last album, even though it has a few downfall songs from what I've heard. I'm kind of curious to see what they have. I hope their last album is just as good as this one. Hopefully, but I mean, may not be as good as that one because of the few songs, but hopefully it has a lot of high quality. So I'm pretty much looking forward to see what they got on their next record. Alright, guys, that is the video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, I will be reviewing the new Megadeth album. It's on a standalone video because the new album's not out yet by the time of this recording. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. What else you want to hear from me? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.